Afternoon, boys and girls, or good morning, or good afternoon, whenever you are watching this video. I'm Miss Brown, and I'm going to be going over with you different types of text structures in this video. So text structures are really important, boys and girls, for us to have a grasp on and for us to understand because they help us understand these texts. And you may hear your teacher say RI 6.5 sometimes, and that is just helping you understand the overall structure of a text. Now, you may not see, found a typo there, you may not see a question that says, what text structure is this on a state test or on a question about a text, but boys and girls, you've got to understand what these text structures are in order for you to understand and answer those questions that ask you, how does the structure of this text contribute to the overall meaning or overall layout of the text, or how does it help you understand the text better? So you may see different questions like that, but you have to understand these text structures. So we have cause and effect, which, boys and girls, that is when something happens, there's an action that is made, and because of that action, there's an effect. So it could be, because I did not study for my test, I failed the test. Or because I did not do the dishes, I got grounded. Or I did not get to go to my friend's party. Okay, so then we have compare and contrast. And that's when you have two different things or two or more things, and you are telling what is alike in the comparing or what is different, the contrasting about those things. Sometimes it can be seen as similarities and differences. But contrasting and comparing is just when you're telling what's alike and what's different about those things that you are comparing and contrasting. Then you have chronological order, which is when you learn how things happen in order. It can be dates, it can be times, it can be first, second, third, but it happens in order. Okay, then we can have description, which is just when you are describing something or you are telling about something, so you're helping somebody else understand or see in their head. It can be visually thought of as you read it or say it. And then you have problem and solution, which is when there is something going wrong or there's something that's not very good. It's a negative thing. And you have to come up with a solution to that. Okay, when you're reading through text, the difference between cause and effect and problem and solution is that by the end of the story, you're going to have some kind of solution. Okay, cause and effect is just because this happened. And problem and solution is when you have a problem, but then you find a solution that goes along with that. And we're going to look at examples of that in these examples that I have for us in this document that you see. And then sometimes you may also see something called a sequence or process, and it tells you the steps to follow when you're doing something, like when you're making tea or when you're making ramen noodles, or even when you're playing that video game, the steps that you follow in order to help somebody know how to do it. So now, boys and girls, we're going to look at 9 different examples, okay? And in these 9 examples, they could be comparing and contrasting, they can be problem and solution, and we're going to kind of walk through the process that we take so that when you're looking at text, you'll be able to say, hey, I know that that's comparing and contrasting, or hey, I know that that's this. So let's look at example 1. Ice cream is a delicious frozen treat that comes in many different colors and flavors. 2 of my favorite flavors are strawberry and chocolate. Though both of these flavors are delicious, strawberries may contain pieces of fruit while chocolate usually will not. Even though more chocolate ice cream is sold across the country annually than strawberries, every flavor tastes great inside a milkshake. Okay, so boys and girls, we see here, I highlighted strawberry and chocolate because we know we have 2 things. So we know we're going to have 2 things, and then we keep reading, and it says that both of these flavors are delicious. Strawberries contain more fruit than chocolate, but chocolate is sold more across the country, but all the flavors taste good in a milkshake. So boys and girls, if we take that and we break it down like that, we see that we're comparing and contrasting strawberry and chocolate ice cream. Okay, so example 2. The ice cream shop around the corner from my house has the best ice cream in the city. When you first walk inside, there is a long chrome counter with matching stools extending to alongside the far wall. Right where the counter stops, the booth seating begins. There are lots of old-timey knickknacks on the walls and chrome napkin holders on all the tables. My favorite part of the shop is behind the counter glass where they keep all of the ice cream flavors. A rainbow of delicious sugary flavors is kept cool and delicious behind the counter glass. So boys and girls, if we look at that, we see that it's describing something, because it tells us that when you first walk in, you're going to see this, and then you'll see something along the wall, and then once the counter stops, the seating begins, and then you're going to find some old-timey knickknacks that are really cool to look at, and then you're going to see some glass with all the ice cream flavors. So it's telling you what you're going to see when you go to the ice cream shop. So it's describing the ice cream shop. Let's look at 3. Freezer burn may have wasted more ice cream than sidewalks. If you don't know, freezer burn is when ice crystals form on the surface of ice cream. These ice crystals can ruin the texture and flavor of the ice cream, but you can prevent freezer burn. Since freezer burn is caused when melted ice cream is refrozen, rather than eating your ice cream from the container as it melts, scoop your ice cream into a bowl and put the container back in the fridge immediately. And doing this ought to help you solve your issues with freezer burn. So boys and girls, our problem is we got some freezer burn going on and it's ruining our ice cream. But, that keyword, but, you can prevent freezer burn. So our problem is that we have some freezer burn going on, but our key word there that kind of let me know that this might be a problem and solution is it says, but you can prevent. So our problem, as I said, is that we have freezer burn, but then it goes in to talk about how you can put it says doing this ought to help you solve your issue. So if you take it and you scoop it and then you put the ice cream back into the refrigerator, that's going to solve